We might as well get started. Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan. I am known as the Amo Knitter on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. And it has been longer than I hoped for. I think my last podcast was like mid-September and today is Halloween, so it's the very end of October. I did not anticipate my life becoming as busy as it did, but it happened and I'm back and hopefully this will actually become regular now. So in the middle of September, for those of you that don't know, I am a registered nurse. I work as a labor and delivery nurse here in the state of Washington, and I'm also studying for my master's in exercise science. I started that grad school program in the middle of September, and it is an online program. It's self-paced, but there's due dates every week, so it's self-paced in that I don't have to sit at a lecture at a certain time of the day, but it's still very like fast-paced. So I started in the middle of September and I finished November 8th, and I just now feel like I can like breathe because most of it is over. I work 12.5-hour shifts in the hospital, so I work full time, and also going to school full time has been a lot more to take on than I had anticipated, I think. So I'm definitely lowering my course load for future quarters, and I'm working on becoming part-time at work as well. But we'll see if and when that's able to happen. But anyways, I am here today and I have a lot to share. I hope that you have something to knit on while you watch, and maybe something to enjoy, a beverage or just some water. Hydration is important. And yeah, let's just get started. I'll start with what I'm wearing. This is my Halloween sweater from 2020. The pattern is called the Aquamar Light. It's a pattern by Park Williams, who is known as Park and Knit. I cannot for the life of me remember the yarn that I used for this project. I know that I found a black, here I'll stand up so you can see. It's a black fingering weight yarn held double with an orange, I think it's a mohair. And then the cuff I know is made with a Lion brand worsted weight something in black. So that's what all the cuffs are. I love the marling in this sweater. It is just absolutely perfect for Halloween. It came out so well. I knitted this in 2020. It is quite cropped, but perfect for throwing over leggings or like skirts and dresses. I would highly recommend this pattern. I've made the Aquamar Light here, and I've also made the Aquamarline. It's really fun. You hold lots of different yarns together and it works up quite quickly. Okay, let's get into finished objects because I actually have several and I'm excited about it. The first one that I will get into is a test knit. These were test knit for Katie Harrod, who is Songbird Knits on Instagram. And they are the Kevin McAllister socks. I had shown these in my last podcast. I had started them, but they are now off the needles and they are blocked. They have a beautiful textured like cable pattern throughout that matches the sweater that Kevin McAllister wears in the movie. It's like a cream sweater with this texture on it. These are knitted in Lamb Strings yarn. The colorway is Book of Spells, and it's on her Tra-La-La sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I started these on September 19th and finished them on October 3rd. And I used 60 grams of yarn for both, so 30 grams for each sock. I knitted an entire cable chart for the leg and then another entire cable chart for the foot, and they fit me perfectly. Depending on when you watch this video, these will be released. They're coming out on November 2nd. I will be sure to share them on my Instagram stories when they come out. It's in a kind of collection of socks that are inspired by Christmas movies, and they're really fun, but these are the ones that I did, and I love them. They the texture really shows with this yarn too. They're beautiful. Zoe says hi. She's going a little nuts right now. Okay, so that's my first finished object. The Kevin McAllister socks by Katie Harrod. Zoe is playing with a leaf like right outside of the store. It's super cute. Okay, next. I don't know where to put things today. That works. Next is a finished object that's no longer in my possession. So I will put a picture of the finished sweater here. I knitted the Daisy cardigan, which is a pattern written by Knitting for Olive. I knitted it for my friend's baby who turned 1 on Monday, so I gifted it to her then. I knitted it in Woolberry Fiber Co. in their berry sock and berry mohair bases held double in the color rhubarb. I started it on August 29th and finished on October 25th, which is a long time for a baby sweater for me, but again, life has been very busy. I knitted the size 2, which is for 1.5 years, so it's a little oversized on her now, but I think that she'll be able to wear it this year and next year, which is awesome. One note about this pattern is it's written so that you make the base for the daisies as you go, so you make like the center of the flower. It's like knitted in as part of the pattern, and then you go back at the end and embroider the leaves for or the petals for the flowers. I didn't do that because I have experience with embroidering and I wanted to do French knots instead. And I don't regret it. However, I could not get the daisies to look clean. So as you can see in the picture, I ended up just not doing the daisies at all. And instead it's just kind of an oversized, fluffy, mauve-y purple cardigan. And I love it just the same. But I don't have any words of wisdom for the daisies. I think maybe if I had used, so I was embroidering using fingering weight yarn, and maybe if I had used a thicker yarn like a worsted, they might have come out a little bit better, but I'll actually put a picture here of one that I did embroider, and as you can see, I just like really couldn't get it to look like clean and cohesive. So I went without them, and she loves it and I love it, so it's all good. Okay, my next finished object is a sweater, and by finished object I mean it's finished and blocked. The ends are not woven in, and I might go back and fix something, but we'll chat about that later. So this is the Clara sweater by Carissa Lamb. It's finished. I want to show you the details. It has these beautiful cable details along the shoulder and then down the body. And then it's also featured on all of the ribbing. So for both sleeve cuffs, the body, and then the neckline. What I'm thinking about going back and redoing is this neckline. I just really don't love it. And it's kind of tight, like it goes over my head, but it's just a little like tighter than I would like. So I'm thinking one of the other testers did a folded over neckband, so she did the ribbing just like this on the one side and then just stockinette on the other side for when you fold it over, and then like knitted it or sewed it down. And I think I'm gonna do that. I think I really prefer a rolled neck collar. Is it neckline or collar? I never really know, but either one. But I absolutely love the way that this came out. The fit is absolutely perfect. These yarns are to die for. I used Red Stag fibers in the color Antique Leather for a fingering weight and held it double with Magpie Fibers Plume, which is their, I'm pretty sure it's their Surrey, in the color Angry Beaver. And it's just like so delicious. And the fabric is so soft. I have worn this, well, tried it on over like dresses, and it's perfect, and it's also great with jeans. I knitted it to be so that it just about hits the bottom of it hits like the bottom of, no, like the middle of my zippers for high-waisted jeans, because I knew that's because of the detail on the bottom ribbing, I wasn't going to want to like French tuck it, so it's a length that's perfect for me to wear with jeans or dresses. Some details, let's see. I ended up using about 2.5 skeins, excuse me, 2.5 skeins of the Red Stag Fiber fingering weight yarn, and then just over 3 skeins of the Magpie Fiber Plume. I knitted the size 3. I started on August 11th and finished on October 12th. So this was a test knit, and Carissa has not told us when the pattern will be released, but I promise to update you guys here as well as on my Instagram stories when the pattern's released so that you guys can get your hands on it. I just really love the details of this, and it worked out pretty quickly. I don't know if you guys remember, I shared in my last podcast that I fudged the underarms, so I did some short row shaping there to make the armholes a little smaller, and I love the fit. So that is the Clara sweater by Carissa Lamb. And I love it. I do think I'm gonna go back and fix the neckline though, and then I'll get more wear out of it. The last finished object that I have is a project that I was working on when I went to Banff. I recorded a vlog while I was in Banff. I recorded a bunch of footage of like me hiking and things like that, and then when I would be like knitting at the Airbnb when I got back, and like 90% of that footage was recorded with no audio and in slow motion. So that is why there was not a video from that trip. But I had started this. This is the classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho. I had started this before I left. It's knitted up in a yarn by La Bien-Aimée. I bought it in Salem last year when I went for Halloween, and I can't remember the colorway. But I was almost done with this, and I'm so glad that I brought it with me to Banff because it was freezing cold. The first day I hiked, I was so cold. So I went back to my Airbnb and did the decreases and finished the beanie, and then was able to wear it on the rest of my trip. The trip was absolutely beautiful. I've been to a lot of national parks in the States, and I will say that Banff is the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. Like, if you are able to go, I absolutely recommend it. It's so gorgeous. I did several hikes, but there are still so many, and I would definitely go back and do more. But yeah, this is the, I think it's called the Basic Ribbed Hat by Pearl Soho. And I love it. Okay, that is it for finished objects. I love Olipop. She's my girl. Let's go through my current active whips. There were a lot of sweater whips on my needles in my last podcast episode, and I was hoping to get a lot of them off my needles, and I did get 3 off my needles. The third one is my Agnete cardigan. I am so happy that it's finished, and it's so beautiful, and I am gonna get so much wear out of it, and I'm so excited, but I cannot share it with you right now because I finished it like late Monday night. Today is Halloween, it's Thursday, and I blocked it Monday night, and it is still drying today. I'm hopeful that it's dry. It's almost dry, so I think that it'll be dry tomorrow. Tomorrow I leave for Portland. I'm going to Sacred Sheep, which I'll share about later. But I will definitely share my finished Agnete cardigan in the next podcast episode because I'm so excited about it. But let's go through. I have a couple new whips, a couple whips that you've seen before. So let's just go through all of those. While I was in Baltimore after I went to Banff, I went to the Ravens game and watched them absolutely demolish the Bills, and it was so much fun. I got to watch that Derrick Henry rushing touchdown live in person and absolutely lost my mind. It was insane. I had the best time. But while I was there, I went to a yarn shop, and I found for the first time, I've been knitting for like 10 years and knitting with like specialty yarns, I guess, like outside of like Lion Brand for like at least half of that. And I've always seen this yarn online, but I've never found it in stores. And I found it at this yarn store in Baltimore. This is, I think it's pronounced Blotolopi. This is an Icelandic wool. It's unspun. I don't know the colorway, but I'll show you in this project. And I picked up all of the, is this a cake? All of the cakes they had in this color because I was selected to test knit a pattern for Rebecca Clow of the Crea Bea. She put out a tester call for her stick season jacket and I hastily applied and got accepted. This is the yarn outside of the plastic. It's got like browns and blacks and oranges. It's so pretty. I was so nervous because it's an unspun yarn that it was just gonna break a ton, but I'm holding it double and it's working out really well. I met gauge. I cast it on October 29th, and this is the progress I did just on that night. I worked all day yesterday and haven't touched it today. I did the entire back panel, and it's so pretty. Look at the texture. The 6th season sweater is a very popular pattern by her. It has the same texture. I've never knitted that pattern, but I've been eyeing it for a while, so I'm really excited that I get to test this pattern. I am knitting, let's see, I'm knitting the size 1. There's lots of different, in traditional Crea Bea fashion, there's lots of different options you can make with this sweater. So I'm doing the V-neck, full textured, full length option. And this is my progress so far. I love the texture and I really enjoy the way that the yarn's working up. It is quite rustic, but with this being a thicker like jacket style, I'll definitely be wearing long sleeves underneath it. So I think it's gonna be perfect this winter. This stitch marker. I'm gonna do the thing where I move stitch markers in episodes. This was just telling me which side was the front, but I'm gonna put it here. And I finished the back panel today, or for today, and hopefully I'll have the shoulders done by next time. But that's that. I'm super excited. I was really hoping to cast this on like October 1st, but it has not been in my capacity to do that until this week. So I'm excited that it's on the needles and I can start working on it. There are testers who have already finished theirs, so the stress of being behind, I'm trying not to let it get to me, but I know I'll finish in time. I have until, I think, December 11th to finish testing, so I know I'll finish in time, especially since my quarter is up in a week, but I'm glad it started, basically. Okay, the next project I started, it's in a bag by the Knitting Nelly. This is one of her Halloween bags from this year, and it's so cute. The project in this bag is a mini season sweater. I think that's the right name. By Ozetta. I'm knitting this in Lion Brand Wool Ease in the color Umber. I have the yarn ball. Color is Umber. I'm knitting the size 1 to 2 years, and I'm knitting it for my friend who's due to have a baby girl on New Year's Day. It works up so quickly. It's on, I think, 4.5 millimeter needles. I started this on October 17th, and I've just kind of been picking it up whenever I get a second. And this is my progress so far. So it's a drop shoulder, so you start with the back panel, and then you pick up for each shoulder, you cast on stitches for the front, and then you join in the round. So I've joined in the round and have... This is such a labor nurse thing for me to do. Wow. I have about 5 centimeters worked on the body. I don't know how much I need for the body before I start the ribbing, but it's been super fun. It's half fisherman's rib, so unfortunately working in the round every other row is a purl row, but it's in worsted weight on 4.5 millimeter needles, and it's a 1 to 2 year size, so it's actually working up really quickly. And I just think half fisherman's rib is so squishy and delicious. I plan to make this pattern for a lot of my friends' babies coming up here soon, so you'll be seeing this a lot, but this is the first one. And I hope she loves it. She's having a girl, she just found out. I'm really excited. Okay, the next work in progress I'm really pumped about. I am in the Colorwork Cuff Club by Summer Lee Knits, and her October Colorwork chart was, there were two options. One was apples and one was ghosts, and I am a big Halloween person if you didn't know that. So I picked the ghosts, and I'm just using like leftover yarns that I had in my yarn cabinet. I'm guessing that my main color, the fingering weight for this is the same main color as these, but I finished one sock and I'm through the color work on the second sock. But look how cute those are! I did the Pop of Color by the Crazy Cat Lady K. I can't remember her last name, sorry. And then I also added a stripe of orange, like just before the toe decreases, just so that it's like extra Halloween-y, and I absolutely love them. I used black, obviously, as the main color, so I also used it as the color for the eyes and the mouth in the ghosts, and I love them. This Colorwork Cuff Club has been so much fun. I ended up not doing September's, but I do want to go back because I love the like grid box one that she showed, or that she released. A close-up of this and my little Pennywise stitch marker in true Halloween fashion. I did the color work of these socks this morning, and I plan to knit on them tonight while I'm sitting on the porch and passing out Halloween candy. And I just want everyone to know that I have grown into the adult that passes out full-sized candy bars. And that's a dream come true. Anyways, those should be done soon. Hopefully in time for the November ones to come out. Okay, this next work in progress is also a pair of socks, and it's also one that I have one of the socks finished with. These are just vanilla sock recipe that I have. And it's using, I can't remember if I've shown these before, but the Freckled Whimsy, they do a Christmas and a Halloween like yarn club. I signed up and got this is the first one that I've gotten, and this is club number 5, September. The color is Ghoulish Giggles, which I think is super funny. The yarn is their Serendipity base. It's 75/25 superwash merino and nylon. It's a self-striping yarn, which I love. So this is the first one. I haven't woven in the ends, and I'll talk about why. So I love all of the different colors. I should show you this side. And then this was the contrast color that was provided with the sock. I think I'm gonna rip this sock out. I've even started the second one and have been so torn about it that I didn't do anything except for like the first 5 rows of ribbing. I think that I regret using the contrast color for the cuff. With a self-striping yarn, I think that I want to use it for the whole sock except for the cuff. So I think I'm gonna start over and cast on with the main self-striping color and only use this orange for the heel. And if I can get 2 whole socks out of it and then have some left over, maybe I'll make another one and I'll have 2 of these and I'll have 2 matching pairs, but we'll see what happens. But that's where I'm at with these. I did start these quite a while ago. I started them on September 19th. I finished this one pretty quickly. I finished it I brought this project with me into the Baltimore Ravens game because I went in really early, and like between warm up and kickoff, there's like kind of some lull time where they like try to entertain you, but I knew I was gonna want my knitting. So I finished this for sure on September 29th. And have not picked this pair up apparently in a month. So I think that is enough to tell me that I should restart. So I think that I'm going to take this out. Should I do it right now? Why not? I am going to, oh no, that fell in that bag, perfect. I am going to take this out and I'm going to restart with the self-striping yarn for the cuff and then just use this orange for the heel. I think it's decided because I just did it. This is the orange, by the way. It's really pretty. So we'll see how much yarn I have left over and maybe I'll end up with 2 pairs using this self-striping yarn. But while we're on the topic of her self-striping yarn club for Halloween, I'm going to show you the October one. Oh, I was like, I thought I had it here. I do. It's just under some other stuff that I'm going to show you later. So this is the October. It is called Spooky Town. Oops. It's like holographic. And it's like purples, blues, and green. It's really pretty. So I will start with the self-stripe and just use the green for the heel for sure on this one. Oh, it's a 25-gram mini. So I bet you I could make 2 pairs. We'll see what happens. Anyways, these 2 pairs of socks are like my vanilla socks, so I'm hoping that I can get both pairs done here at some point. Oh my gosh, you guys, wait. Oh yes, my final whip. My brain. My final whip is my Lakes pullover by Ozetta. I am knitting this in Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool. Sorry for the crinkles. In the color Brown Heather. This is a buddy knit that I'm doing with my friend Brenna. She recently learned to knit and we have been having so much fun. We started this project on September 5th. I'm knitting the 2nd size. I can't remember where we were at the last time I recorded, but we have gotten a lot done since then. So here is the progress. It's looking like a sweater now. So we finished the front panels and joined on the round, and then we picked up for the right sleeve. I haven't done any progress since we did that, but the sleeve is on the needles. And then before we picked up for the sleeve, we actually picked up and knit the collar. And it's a folded over collar and it's stunning. And it's so fun because hers looks exactly like mine. We're using the same exact yarn. We're knitting the same exact pattern, different sizes, but it's super fun to have them like next to each other when we're knitting. And she's doing such a good job. Hers looks so good. This is a project that we're hoping to finish like in the winter and then wear them together. But it's been a really fun pattern. It is knitted with worsted weight yarn and it's 5mm, I believe. Yeah, 5mm needles. So it's just kind of flying by. And I'm pumped to have a sweater, especially in this color, in my wardrobe. This neckline is to die for. I've tried it on. It's obviously extremely cropped, but I can see the vision and I'm pumped about it. So that is my last active work in progress. And then I wanted to show a couple of acquisitions actually. So, as I said, I've been traveling a bit and I started grad school and life is already crazy, but I collect a skein of yarn from everywhere I travel from. I try to make it so that it's hand dyed in or around the area, at least in the same state. And so I did that. When I was in Canada, I went to Stash Lounge, which was beautiful. And I got this, oh, this is the one from Stash. I got this yarn. It's by Ancient Arts Yarns, hand dyed in Canada. The base is Socknado Twisters. It's an 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and the color is Pashmina. This is a DK weight and this is the color. So I get I am trying to do mini skeins so that I don't have a ton of leftover yarn, but I get a skein of yarn everywhere I travel, and I'm making a travel blanket, and one of these days I will share it with you because I still have to add my hexagon from Flock Fiber Fest. And then I'll do this in Canada and then Sacred Sheep. So I will include that in the podcast at some point. I just didn't feel like I had time today. It's already been 31 minutes and I don't want to ramble on forever. So that was, yes, that was from Canada. And then when I was in Baltimore, I went to a yarn shop. I can't remember the name of it, but if I can think of it, I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember, but that's where I got the Plotalopi. And then I also got this yarn. It's by Feederbrook Farm. It is hand dyed in the Baltimore area. This is their Entropy DK base, which is a 100% BFL. And the colorway is Specific Heat. It's definitely hand spun as well. It is stunning. Here's the label. It's very different from colors that I usually gravitate towards. It's kind of pink heavy, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So I'm hoping that I can do a hexagon for my travel blanket and then like maybe something else too, like maybe some like shorty socks or something with DK. We'll see what happens, but those are my travel acquisitions. And then when I was here, there is a alpaca, sheep, donkey, goat farm near one of my friends' houses, and I went with a couple of my friends and one of my friends' babies, and we just like were petting and feeding alpaca. It was so much fun. And I looked at the alpaca and I said, oh my gosh, I wish I had some yarn that was made from your, what's that called? Oh my word. Anyways, the man leading the tour was like, we sell yarn, and I was like, sold. I'll take all of it, basically. So I got this yarn. I don't even know if the farm was called Enchanted Farms, I think, and it's in Duval. And then they send their fiber to a fiber mill. It's called Tahoma Vista. And I can't tell what that says, but this is 100% natural alpaca. It's a 2-ply worsted. The alpaca's name is Dempster. And this is roughly 100 yards per skein, and I got many. I got a bundle. But let me put one of these out and show you. It's hand spun. It's like so stinking soft. And I think I'm gonna make a slip over with this. I'm nervous that I actually don't have enough yarn for a full sweater. I have 9 of these skeins that are all like roughly 100 yards, but some of them, like this one says 108, this one says 90, so it's like an estimation, right? Like, who really knows? Here's one caked up, but I think I'm gonna make a slip over with these, and then if I have extra, I can make a really cozy beanie, like maybe the Alaska hat or something of the sort. I want this like right here. It's so soft and squishy. Also, like, petting and feeding the alpaca that this came from is just like so special. I was like, how could I not buy this yarn? So I'm super pumped about that. Maybe I'll cast on soon, but I am no longer putting pressure on myself to get knitted things done. I have several other acquisitions. I feel like a lot of yarn came in that I had ordered before my quarter started, and now there's just piles of it that I want to share, and it seems like a lot to go over in one podcast. So maybe I'll share some, and then like every podcast I'll just like share a couple or something like that. One that's fitting for the season. I'll share the ones that are fitting for the season first. I got the Woolberry Fiber Co. trick or treat box because I love Halloween and I just thought it was super fun. So it came with some goodies. If you are participated and haven't opened the box yet, fast forward or something, look away. It came with this little mug, which is perfect for camping. I use these mugs when I go camping. This cute little ghost mug that I will probably, or candle that I will probably never burn because it's way too cute, but it's cute as a decoration. Some pumpkin spice hot cocoa, which I think I will probably make tonight because it's Halloween. And then it came with this cute little project tag with a ghost on it. Isn't that so cute? So very fitting, very me. It also came with some stitch stoppers that are just like floral and pumpkin, but will probably be hard to see. So I got trick and treat because I'm a Halloween girly and I don't hold back. So the treat sock set, both of these are on, is their Berry Cozy sock sets. So it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. It's 100 grams for the main skein and then two 20-gram mini skeins. So this is the treat sock set. It's so cute. Very autumnal. Can't wait to knit with this if I ever have time again. And then I'm really excited because the treat one is super cute. So also the Berry Cozy sock set. These are very like emeraldy colors. My friend Brenna would love this actually. So pretty. These are dark and moody and like everything that I want in a trick sock yarn set, honestly. So pretty. I'm not sure what pattern I'm going to use for these because there's two coordinating minis and that seems really fun. But I'm sure I'll think of something. Okay, I'm going to do two more acquisition orders. So this was from Treehouse Knits. So I have some from Treehouse Knits and some from Cozy Posy Yarn Co. They both did some sort of like Halloween release. This is the time of year where I spend the most money because anything Halloween themed, it's gotta be mine. One day I'll show you my living room, but my house is spooky themed 100% of the time, 365 days a year. There are skeletons everywhere, everything's black, there's ghosts everywhere, I have a bat banger hanging, like that is just who I am to my core, and so I thrive in this season and I spend the most money, but that's okay. So from Treehouse Knits, I got two skeins of yarn. They are both on the spruce sock base, which is 90% extra fine superwash merino and 10% nylon. And actually it tells me on here that these are from the collection Love Letters from the Pacific Northwest. So this skein is, first let me show you the label. This is Practical Magic. So pretty. I can't wait to watch this movie tonight. And then my all-time favorite movie, if you've watched this movie with me before, you know it is so annoying because I quote basically the entire thing the whole time. Heath Ledger is my boo. This is 10 Things I Hate About You. So pretty. This is based off of scenes from the prom scene. So like you can see like pictures from, or colors from the dresses. The cat's dresses in there. So pretty. Love it. And then from Cozy Posy Yarn Co. I also got Practical Magic, which is a very different spin. First of all, here's her yarn label. Oop. And then this is the colorway. I am obsessed. It's so neutral, but still autumnal and moody and delicious. And then I got Ghost Walk, which is again, moody and neutral and delicious. Those are my criteria with yarns. Moody, neutral, delicious. So pretty. So I can't wait to make something up out of those. I think that that's all I'll share for acquisitions for today. because this is now 40 minutes long and I need to go get ready for some trick-or-treaters. Plus it is fall in Washington, so the sun will be setting in approximately 4 minutes because it's like 4 p.m. probably. Oh, it's almost 5 actually, so the sun will absolutely be setting soon. My plans, I plan to pick back up my sunset sweatshirt and my ranunculus. My ranunculus is so close to being done. And then the sunset sweatshirt is worsted weight, so it'll work up really quickly. So I'm hoping to get both of those done. I need to work on my stick season jacket because it is a test knit. And I'm hoping to cast on some sort of cardigan in the near future. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the Jethro, which is that granny square knitted sleeve one, or if I want to do something more basic like the balloon cardigan by Petite Knit. I have yarn for both of those, which I shared in my fall plans, which I have done none of, but that's okay because this is the season of life we're in. And then I also plan to start a Sweet Shop baby blanket for my friend who's due on New Year's. So hopefully I'll have those things to share with you. I honestly and truly am hoping that I'll be able to podcast more regularly now that my quarter is coming to a close and I'll be doing less next quarter. I also have a bit of a break between quarters. I don't start again until January, so I'm hoping to do that. I am also going to Sacred Sheep this weekend. It's a yarn festival in Portland. I leave tomorrow. I'm doing a class with Caitlin Hunter on design theory just to kind of dabble on if that's a part of knitting that I would even be interested in. And then I go to the festival Saturday and Sunday morning I'm taking a class with Sari Nordland about cables, and she is the queen of cables. So I am very pumped about that. I'm planning on definitely vlogging while I'm there, and we'll see what yarn I come up with. My birthday is in like a week and a half, so I'm planning on splurging for my birthday a little bit. I have a few patterns that I'd love to get yarn for, but I also want to be mindful of my spending. I do have a large yarn stash and I don't want to be wasteful, so we'll see what happens. But I am definitely pining over the Farmer's Daughters Fibers they released a new collection based off of like dark academia, and the colors are just so meaty and delicious. I might need them. We'll just see what happens. And then what's after that? That's it, I think. Yeah. So next up will be a vlog from Sacred Sheep, and then hopefully I'll do another podcast here in a couple of weeks. And I think that's all. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is probably my longest podcast ever, and I didn't get to touch on everything, but I'm hoping to like slowly catch up on things as time goes by. I hope you got lots of progress done on your knitting project while you were watching. I would love to hear what you were working on. Please comment below and let me know. If you're going to Sacred Sheep, I think that I'm gonna try to post this video tomorrow, so if you see this, I would love to say hi. I'm going by myself. What else is new? And I'm always interested in meeting knitting friends, so if you're around, I'll probably say hi. Yeah, happy Halloween, and I hope you guys have a great couple of weeks, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting!